evening, everyone. I now call this meeting to order. The time is 6 p.m. Let the record reflect that we have 5 board members present. At this time, anyone wishes to make a public comment, please turn in the green card to the board secretary. Next, I'd like to make a motion to adopt tonight's agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. At this time, I motion to enter into executive session. Do I have a second for that?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. We move into executive session. At this time, I'd like to motion to exit executive session. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Reconvening this regular meeting at this time now. At this time, we will move into the Pledge of Allegiance, which I will start, and land acknowledgement read by Board Member Hodge. Everyone please stand. I pledge allegiance Thank you.
Tempe High School District acknowledges that our community of schools is located on ancestral lands of the Akiman Pima and the Peeposh Maricopa indigenous people who have inhabited this land since the time immemorial. With this land acknowledgement, the district formally acknowledges that the traditional care and keeping of this land by our indigenous people allow us to be here today.
Thank you, Board Member Hodge. At this time, we will now move to the report by Superintendent. Dr. Wilson, if you will.
Thank you, President Barraza, Vice President Steele, members of the board, and our audience in here and at home. February is designated as Career and Technical Education Month, or CTE Month, to recognize and promote the importance of career and technical education and celebrate its accomplishments across the country. Eric Sorensen, Director of Career and Technical Education, will highlight students and teachers in Tempe Union's 18 career technical education programs across the district. Mr. Sorensen, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. Good evening, President Barraza, Vice President Steele, members of the governing board, and the executive team here. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today as we celebrate Career and Technical Education Month, or CTE Month. This is a time to reflect and highlight the tremendous value that CTE brings to our school districts, students, and our broader community. CTE programs offer our students more than just education. They provide them with tangible, real skills and real-world experiences and pathways to careers that align with their interests and talent. Whether it's in the field of early childhood, engineering, construction, business management, or tech theater, CTE equips students with industry-specific skills that are in high demand. These programs bridge the gap between academic learning and career readiness. This provides our students with the tools they need to be successful beyond high school. One of the key strengths of CTE is its focus on hands-on learning. This approach allows students to apply what they've learned in the classroom to real-world situations, making their education more relevant and engaging. Our district, whether students are working a crime scene, coding, marketing a product, or competing in the CTSO event, they are not just learning theory, they're mastering skills that will serve them throughout their lives. As we know, each of our Tempe Union High School students are unique in their own special talents. CTE programs offers a pathway that emphasizes career readiness, workforce skills, and employability. By the time our CTE students graduate, they have had the opportunity to earn certificates and certifications, participate in internships, and job offers waiting for them. Let me share some of the great examples, especially with the work with our partner Honeywell. Corona student Lucas Valenzuela, Desert Vista students Jeffrey Buskirk, Cole Desbrick, and Elizabeth Myers completed an internship program in engineering with Honeywell in the summer of 2024. The exciting part of that is that they have been invited back this year in 2025 to continue that internship with Honeywell. Desert Vista student Connor Belikovsky also completed last summer an internship in the IT department at Honeywell and has also been asked to come back for the 25 summer. The most exciting news with our Honeywell partnership is McClintock Auto students Jacob Fernandez, Ernesto Ponce, and Connor Pilas, who interned on the Honeywell manufacturing floor last semester assembling airplane engines. They were actually on the floor. I'm happy to report that Jacob and Ernesto have been accepted and have accepted positions with Honeywell after they walk off the stage of McClintock High School this May. Very exciting news. We also have another 3 students, I believe from Marcos Deniza, currently at Honeywell, working on the floor, assembling those same engines. This is a direct result of the strong partnerships being developed with businesses and industries who rely on CTE graduates to fill critical roles in our workforce. It doesn't stop at job placement. CTE has a profound effect on student engagement and success. Studies have shown that students who participate in CTE are more likely to stay in school, graduate, and go on to pursue meaningful careers. It gives students a sense of purpose. They can see the direction and connection between their education and their future. It nurtures their curiosity and builds confidence when students feel that their education is relevant in their lives and they're motivated to succeed. As we celebrate CTE Month, I want to thank each and every CTE teacher, our district CTE support team, our principals and assistant principals, and community partners, and especially our governing board who support CTE for our district, for our future and beyond. Let us continue to celebrate the value of CTE, support its growth, and ensure it's an essential part of the educational opportunities at Tempe Union High School District. Please enjoy our CTE video that highlights all of our programs here in the Tempe Union High School District.
Career and technical education in the Tempe Union High School District offers unique and engaging opportunities for students to apply classroom concepts to real-world projects.
The reason I joined the engineering program and have been in it for 4 years is because it allows me to express my creativity, and really it teaches me the fundamentals that I'm going to be using in college. One thing media and publications has taught me to do is be able to create and maintain a fruitful conversation with someone. As like in the beginning of the year as a freshman, I was shy and I didn't really know how to interview or just talk to someone in general. But now I can, if I want to interview one, it's mainly just talk about the person, and I can create a relationship and a friendship with that person for the future.
CTE programs give students access to the latest industry technologies and techniques to express creativity and to solve problems.
The computer programming jobs out in the world are going to pay a lot more than other things. So computer programming, it's helping me learn the basic skills that I'll need.
The best part of this class is being able to find out individual stories about people on campus, whether it's teachers, students, people in clubs or sports. They're an entire person with an entire story and experiences. Meeting a new person is meeting their story, not just a name, and this class allows me to do that.
It teaches you how to cook. That's the method you need to use when you're in boat. Your mom and your dad is not always going to be there for you. You need to learn how to cook. It's a surviving method as well. And it's honestly just fun because you can learn how to cook so many different plates and things.
I love biotechnology because of the fun labs we get to do with the high-tech equipment and the practical skills that might be necessary for a career in bioscience in the near future.
Biotech lab experience has been amazing so far. All of our high industry-grade lab equipment replicates a real biotech lab experience, which will set me up for amazing opportunities in the future.
Many of these CTE programs offer industry certification, allowing for real-time job opportunities and advanced pay.
Here at Marcos Deniza, I have completed 4 CTE programs, which include culinary arts, criminal justice, construction tech, and early childhood. These programs have helped me to earn multiple certifications, ranging from a guard card to a food handler's card. These have granted me multiple job opportunities currently and will help me to prepare for my future.
I've always had an idea of what I want to do when I grow up, but I never knew exactly what, and we had accounting, so I just took it and I stuck with it. I love the class. I love the teacher. It's a very hands-on class. Now I'm working on getting certified in Excel, and certified to be able to do taxes during tax season this year.
CTE programs also offer internship opportunities, allowing students to earn graduation credit while working part-time. Your future is waiting. Pursue your passion by enrolling in a CTE program today.
So thank you for your time and consideration and your continued support of CTE. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you, Mr. Sorensen, for that wonderful presentation and highlighting how wonderful our programs are. Hands-on learning, industry certifications, internships, jobs right out of high school, and really, I would say, award-winning programs, because I know when I go to other districts, and there are folks that will say, look at what Tempe Union is doing. If you want to model your programs, look at what they are doing. And I can just smile like, yes, which just fits in with us. And our focus on excellence in teaching and learning. So thank you for all you do, and thank you to all of our career technical education teachers and our staff supporting those programs, and for our students who are just finding their future and getting that much closer to it as they start in high school. Board members, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson, and thank you, Mr. Sorensen. Wonderful update on our CTE programs. At this time is for public comment. If you wish to comment, you must complete a green card and provide it to the board secretary at the start of the meeting. Members of the governing board may not discuss items that are not on the agenda. Therefore, action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter or scheduling the matter for future consideration and decision at a later time. We have received one request for public comment. This, per policy, this public comment will be allowed 3 minutes to speak. Our first public comment is, or our only public comment is Jim Caron.
Okay, thank you very much. My name's Jim Carn. I'm a resident here in Tempe for approximately 30 years, and it's the first time I've ever been to one of these school board meetings, and I just want to thank you, members of the board, for allowing this to occur. I just wanted to specifically address the issue that's on the agenda regarding the it appears to be there's going to be some movement on what has occurred with the executive order that Donald Trump has signed regarding immigration. And I just wanted to address that specifically, that really this whole issue of the board essentially not wanting to cooperate is what my understanding is of the with the executive order. But that's really not what this whole issue is about. It's not about Trump's executive order. It's not about education. It's not about immigration status. It's not about FERPA. It's not about taxes paid by citizens to support non-citizens. It's not about racism. And it's not even about people that cut in line by law-abiding citizens that desire to come here legally. What this is about, essentially, is nothing more than just following the rule of law. And prior to this most recent election, we really haven't had any compliance in the area of codified immigration laws, regulations. And I'm just concerned if this is indeed what the board is going to be moving in this direction, to essentially ignore and forgive my verbose, but thumb the nose at the law. I just find that disappointing. So we need to set examples to our youth that we don't just choose which laws we want to obey, which laws we want to ignore. We also need to make sure that we are... I couldn't help but to, I'm sorry, I just couldn't help but to hear when we were pledging allegiance to the flag and the whole idea of justice for all. And I just don't see this action taken by the school board, if that's the direction they're heading. I don't see that in keeping with our pledge to our country. Thank you very much.
At this time, we will move to our consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items F1 through F8?
I motion to approve items of F1 through F8.
Is there a second?
A second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. We next move to board policy, item G1, policy JIH, student interrogation, searches, and arrests for a first reading. Board members, do you have any questions or comments at this time? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the first read of item G1?
Member Barraza, this is just a first, or President Barraza, this is just a first read.
This is just a first reading. We're motioning to approve, just to move on from the first reading, not to approve the policy right now. I'm sorry? This is a recommendation from legal. Jordan, if you would.
So under our board policy BGB, generally we bring policies for 2 reads. So this is going to approve the first read of the policy. We'll move forward and we'll bring it forward for a second read and adoption at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. Previously I know we've never voted on a first read before, so I was just confused. And President Barraza, if I may, I actually did have a comment, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Board Member Montero.
I just wanted to respond to, since this was an agendized item, to the public comment that we have, because I want to make sure that it's crystal clear to the community that this is not a matter of whether we are following the law or not following the law. In fact, I think this goes very much in the spirit of the rule of law, and we are letting our students know what their rights are. This is simply putting procedures in place of when students are, or when enforcement officers come to campus, of having those procedures in place as who is notified, how they're notified, and how the families and students know their rights in these situations has nothing to do with anything more than that. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Montero. Are there any other comments? Seeing as there are none, do I have a motion to approve the first read of item G1?
I motion to approve the first read of item G1.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. We will bring back policy GIH for a second read and adoption on March 5th. Board members, are you comfortable taking our business services agenda items as a bulk? Okay. I motion to approve business services items H1 through H3. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Can I say something on that real quick? Is that possible? I apologize. I should have said it beforehand. But number 3, I would like to just have something on record on item number 3. Food and nutrition.
I
Is that
rescind my
possible?
motion. I rescind my motion to approve for the sake of discussion before I move to motion
I
to
just,
approve.
when reading the information, and it talks about the Tempe Elementary School students that are going to be coming in, and we're going to have that concern, can we do something similar to what we do with FAFSA, where we actually encourage district-wide our numbers increasing on our students that would qualify for free or reduced, making it not so stigmatized and kind of turning it into more of a campaign to encourage people to, if they need those resources. More families today, more than ever, probably need those resources, and if we destigmatize it ourselves. So I just wanted that on record.
Thank you, Vice President Steele. And I appreciate that interjection because I did not pause for any comments from the board. With that, I now motion to approve items H1 through H3. Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Next up, I1, information items. Are there any requests for future items from the board? I will acknowledge the school lunch request from Vice President Steele, and I will have that discussion. Next item, I3, monthly financial reports and ADM monitoring. I apologize, Vice President Steele. You do have a conference committee update. Would you please?
I will. So I got the honor and privilege of taking my first trip to Washington, D.C. For the Equity and Advocacy Institute National School Board Association Conference, February 2nd and 3rd, where I listened to live updates of what could possibly be happening to public education, and then it turned around and happened on my social media feed right in real time. The community does know that I'm a special education advocate, so DEI concerns me because it does concern the community that I support, including all marginalized populations. So it was really difficult to watch what was happening. It was difficult to sit in the meetings with my legislators, with my senators team, which I am grateful for the opportunity to sit with Mark Kelly's team and with Greg Stanton's team. But it's really scary when everything against public education is against us right now. So it was eye-opening. It was an honor to be able to educate and advocate for our district. I advocated for IDEA full funding. This is year 50 that IDEA has never been fully funded by our federal government. I advocated for strengthening our educator workforce with our PREP Act. I advocated for securing digital access and cybersecurity. I advocated for expanding our mental health and our nutrition supports, and I advocated for protecting our public schools while I was there. I attended conferences on Medicaid that I want to meet with our financial, with Roland on, because I want to make sure that we're taking advantage of all of our Medicaid dollars that we can. And I had another conference that was really, it was a sales pitch, unfortunately, but it was about engagement and parent engagement, and I really, really appreciated just the continued conversation of making sure the community knows that we're all here together and we want to work together, and every single one of us want to see what's best for our students, and that includes all of our students. And that is my report.
Thank you, Vice President Steele, for that wonderful update. Next item, I3, monthly financial reports and ADM monitoring. The reports are attached for your review. Do any board members have any questions pertaining to these items? Seeing as there are none. Next is J1, Governing Board Communications. If any Governing Board member would like to communicate to the public, this is the time. I'll wait for lights. Board Member Hodge, would you kick us off?
No, ain't that the first. I'm not usually the one who wants to be the first one to speak. Well, I just want to take a moment to recognize that it is Black History Month, and this is a time to celebrate achievements, contributions, and rich history of Black America. This month gives us an opportunity to reflect on impact of Black leaders, innovators, and trailblazers who helped us shape our nation. Let's take the time to learn, honor, and appreciate the stories and legacies that continue to inspire us all. As I close, I will say, Black history is our history. So let's all enjoy the month. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Hodge. Other board members, any communications?
I have communication.
Okay, Vice President Steele, if you will.
So I'm going to get a little personal, and then I'm going to get into a tour. So in November, my son had an experience that was taken from him, and actually one of our coaches at Mountain Point as well. He was given an opportunity to go to Trinidad and Tobago, and that was taken from him. And to shift his energy, he started to jog. And at 42 years old, I started to jog November 1st. And on Monday, thanks to President Barraza, because I made the comment to him that I was running, and he lit up on something that he used to passionately do. And since our last board meeting and me coming back from Washington, we've ran 4 times together at our track fields. And on Monday, I ran my first mile on one of our track fields. And I don't know if our community members know that we can access that. So we want to make sure that we know that those are available in the evenings for our community members. I also want to thank President Barraza and Sean McDonald. We went on a wonderful tour at Marcos on February 10th. I'm trying to jump ahead. Where we toured the TAP program, which is our teenage parent program, and we brought with us a former TAP student, which was really, really cool to have her be able to see just how it's grown. She was a 1996 student, so it had been quite a bit of time for her, and the TAP teachers loved it. And we also toured the JROTC program, which was something I hadn't seen, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. So thank you, Sean McDonald, and thank you, President Barraza, for inviting me on that tour. And that is my update. Thank you, Board Member Miller. I have some gifts. I have some donations. It's a very small list. All right, so we have $3,034 to Marcos Deniza from Parents Supporting Children and Their Music Incorporation, $1,000 to Desert Vista from the Thunderbirds Foundation, and Rebecca W. Birch to Marcos Deniza donated 2 saxophones, 2 clarinets, and various music stands valued at $3,000. That's awesome. And that is my report.
Thank you, Vice President Steele. Board Member Gutierrez Miller. Board Member Hodge, if you would.
Okay, thank you, Board Member. I just forgot to say that myself and Dr. Wilson went to the Tempe Arts, and all of our schools, all 6 of our schools, were in that art forum with the city of Tempe, Tempe L, and Kyrene. It was the first time that all 3 districts were together. We had a phenomenal time looking at the art in our schools, and just to realize that not only is that our students get it, you see the uniqueness is coming up towards us. So we have very, very promising in our art department with our kids, and it was just a great time. And for them to be honored and in front of their families and their teachers, it was great. So if any chance, we do it every year, so I would love for you guys to come. It is a great program to see in face-to-face, and especially since now it incorporates all the 3 districts together. We get to see what our present is. We also get to see what the future is going to look like when it comes in the art world. So please, enjoy it next time with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Hodge. Board Member Gutierrez Miller.
Yes. This last weekend, I had the honor of attending the regional orchestra and choir concert that was hosted. 3 of our schools are represented on the regional, I guess both orchestra and choir. I know we have a Marcos student, Corona students, and also a Desert Vista student, excuse me. And so I was able to attend this concert, and I just wanted to say that it was incredible. All of these musicians have poured so much time and talent into preparing to participate in this regional opportunity. Our very own Corona choir director was responsible for the auditions on the Corona side, and so like a lot of our district has gone into this regional work. Also, the choir instructor at Central High School is a former Corona graduate. So Tempe Union was heavily represented at this performance. It was beautiful. Just like, I don't know, some of the performance even like moved us to tears a little bit. Just seeing these kids funnel their passions through the arts is just always really inspiring. So I want to shout all of them out. I want to shout all of their instructors and their families for dedicating and pouring into the arts. I just think it's so important, as Board Member Hodge mentioned, arts are life-saving. A lot of students find themselves in these passions and are able to find a place on campus through these activities, and so I just want to thank the district for continually pouring into them and just uplifting and supporting students in their passions. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Gutierrez Miller. Board Member Montero.
Thank you. Member Hodge reminded me, I was not able to attend this time, but we did have the quarterly meeting with the Tri-District and ASU and the City of Tempe. Tempe Elementary hosted this time, got the full debrief on all the collaboration that is happening and moving our 3 districts forward. I know there's a big talk about doing a PR campaign around the 3 districts and really promoting all of the great programs that we have here in Tempe Union, in Tempe Elementary, and Kyrene, as well as our collaboration with the university as well as the city. So I'm glad to see that that's moving forward, and I want to thank Dr. Wilson and your team for your full participation and keeping moving that forward, so thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Montero. It looks as though Vice President Steele would like to make one more comment.
I do want to make one more comment because I did forget to, and I want to just make sure that this is stated. On the February 5th board meeting, I was unavailable due to a family emergency, and we passed a resolution that I was not able to sign and support. So I just want to share with the community that I 100% support the resolution that was passed that night. My name would have been on it if I would have been here. I support all of our students having access to their educational rights and their laws. And so I just wanted to put that on record.
Thank you, Board Member Steele. Just to reiterate what Board Member Steele had mentioned about our facilities, they are open in the evening times for our public to utilize as a form of taxpayer property. So we like to make sure that we have some aspect of our facilities, the track and tennis. You will see those lights lit up on any given day of the week and individuals utilizing them. The only other thing I'd like to add is just it is Black History Month, and I would just like to, I learned something very interesting from a professor. So I'm going to read what he wrote, and it's probably not as polished, but I want to just read it and convey it. So a lot of you probably don't know about the Battle of Bamber Bridge in 1943 in World War II, and there's a reason why. And I'm just going to read what it says, but Black soldiers were at Bamber Bridge in 1943. Black American soldiers had to fight their own white soldiers in England, and that became known as the Battle at Bamber Bridge. Why? Because the town Bamber Bridge in Lancaster wasn't segregated, so they treated black soldiers like any other race. But with American segregation still existing, essentially American Army went to someone else's country, and military police began demanding that they adopt the racist practices of the United States. So when American military police found out that their own black soldiers were drinking at the pubs as white soldiers, they went to arrest them. The people in the town got mad about the treatment and decided then to turn their pubs into blacks-only drinking pubs. This upset the American military, and that is when guns went blazing. Word spread back at the camp that black soldiers had been shot. Scores of men formed a crowd, some carrying rifles, and by midnight, more American military police arrived in the town with machine gun-equipped vehicles. The black soldiers had no choice but to get rifles from black stores, British stores, while others barricaded themselves back on base. So now it was American white soldiers facing off against American black soldiers. This ultimately led to the death of 1 soldier, injury of 7, and 32 convictions. Back in America, the battle was hushed because they didn't want the country to find out that they were fighting their own soldiers, which would anger the black population and weaken the morale of the country. You can read about more of this in a book titled Forgotten, or you can also Google it as The Battle at Bamber Bridge. That is all I have tonight. The next regular meeting is scheduled for March 5th, 2025 at 6 p.m. I motion to adjourn this meeting. Do I have a second? I apologize before. We have a superintendent and executive team. Do you have any comments? Seeing as there are none, I motion to adjourn this meeting. Do I have a second?
A second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.